Well, isn't it even better? Because if I take a cue from my colleague Northway, she did say, well, somehow they shouldn't have even waited till that September 30 deadline, according to some analysts, because they say by then it would have been a messier deal. Now, if you look at what has happened before now, Societe Generale and, of course, Savannah Bank, till this very moment, loads of people have not gotten a dime. But with this, AMCON, NDIC coming in, then subsequently AMCON, they say investors' confidence is being boosted because everything seemed to be intact.
Yeah. Now, don't forget that the CBN gave these banks money to boost their liquidity. And then the interbank, another window where they also transact. Now, if even then, they promised us that none of these banks will be allowed to collapse. Okay? That was a promise. Now, the point is, they did what they're supposed to do. By even the fact that they removed those CEOs is another thing, because that also eroded the confidence of people in the banking sector. Because by then, you know, just like what I mentioned about normative economists, you know, is one extreme. And you don't do that. You have to be a balance. You have to find a middle ground.
Mr. Nweze,
yes.
I mean, in the light of all that you've heard and possibly seeing the CEOs that were removed being arraigned for, would you have advised that the CBN governor leave those same people at the helm of affairs?
Now, when you are dealing with some sectors of the economy, like the banking and all that, banking all over the world, they have one issue or the other. But it depends on the way.
Banking or bankers? Which one of them?
Bankers all over the world
have one issue or another.
Yes,
even in the US, they don't have to be people that got
you see,
some
because
integrity.
The thing is this. No, you see, the thing is this. When regulation is a bit lax, you find, you know, and when those supposed to supervise banks, okay, are less smart than the bankers themselves, because bankers, they have smart people. And they are being regulated by less smart people. Okay? So you find that they always outsmart the other people. They always come up with one thing or the other.
Okay, Mr. Nweze.
And then that's why you have to be careful how you, for a bank, a sector that is sensitive as a bank, there's a way, not that what he's doing is wrong, but the way and manner. There are things that when you're communicating, the issue is not in the action and per se, the issue in the way you're communicating to the public.
Mr. Nweze, let me ask you one.
Yes.
Sorry, Nyota. Let me get this straight. Are you saying that if you were in the shoes of the CBN governor, you would have left the managing directors of those banks there?
What I would have done, call them, say, colleagues, you have so time to put your act together. If you don't, you have to resign.
Mr. Nweze,
that is what I would have done. But then the public would have been, the investors would have lost the confidence that they have. What I'm talking about here is a matter of confidence. Investment anywhere is about confidence. And anything that will make the investing public to lose confidence, the economy is down.
Mr. Nweze,
yes.
I was privy to be somewhere where the CBN governor made a statement, not off camera, said he had a meeting with these MDs privately and told them he gave them time to put their house together. But be that as it may, the situation now as it stands, who should these people protect?
Yeah.
Who should be protected? Is it the depositors or the shareholders?
Now, both.
No, who should they protect?
If you have to pick one.
If you have to pick one, who should they protect?
They are both important. Without the shareholders and all that, the investing public would. They go hand. You can't protect one and leave the other.
Mr. Nweze,
because the investors, the shareholders have their money.
He said
don't forget.
Mr. Nweze,
yes.
We said something earlier. We've had failed banks. We had Societe Generale Bank. We had Savannah Bank. And some of the depositors there, some had millions. And the cap that NDS is going to pay anybody, the highest they'll pay anybody is 500,000 naira, even if you had 1 billion. Now, some people have millions in these banks here, and you're saying now they should just sit down and wait till that September 30, just so that the banks might go and then the depositors
don't forget that
because you want
2
to protect
years,
the shareholders.
No, 2 years, and not that these people have not been making arrangements on who to make a deal one way or the other. They have been making deals. They will they'll try to make a deal. CBN will say no. we don't, for issue of governance and credibility and all that, we don't like this one. CBN brought some people, and the management of those banks said, no, we don't want this. So it's a matter of sitting down and agreeing on who and who and who should be able to, we're going to deal with. But the CBN says no, the management says no. It's a matter of agreement. Let them reconcile their differences, and then within that period, it's possible that they could have made a deal. Or if they don't, then legally, you will say, okay, we gave you this days of grace period. You did not fulfill. When they have, if the CBN had acted by September, it would have been the reaction would have been different. But reacting before, it's like, in some quarters, there are some people are even saying, even up to yesterday, that, hey, it's possible that the new finance minister, they had to do everything that they have to do so that when the new finance minister comes in, she will not stop. No, that's what, in some quarters, what people are saying. So they moved ahead to prevent what could have happened. Do you understand that? So that's one school of thought is saying. So it is possible that there is something they're trying to prevent that could happen in that September. Who knows?
Mr.
That's just the point.
I want to believe that you're also an investor.
Yes.
So far, so good. Have you been assured at what you've seen going on so far in the banking sector?
Well, apart from before then, before this tsunami started, banking sector, if for a little, reconfigurations here and there, it could have been allowed to grow. Because when you want to, don't forget the vision of making Nigeria a financial hub that the CBN came up with, the CBN Financial Services Vision, making Nigeria a financial hub. Other countries have tried it. Singapore, for instance.
Your answer is not going to my question.
No.
Because I need to ask you another question right after that. Have you been assured? That's the question. It's yes or no?
I'm going to answer. I will not say yes. I'm going to trace it back to. Because in other countries where this thing has been done, what the government did was to support, to make sure that these banks don't go down. It was based on that vision to make Nigeria a financial hub that I was assured of what that, yes, my investment will be safe. But since the sacking and all that, and any economy that you remove risk takers, that economy cannot thrive. And by this singular act of the CBN, they have discouraged risk-taking. And risk-taking is all about business, entrepreneurship. And when you remove entrepreneurs in any economy, the economy is empty. People are now afraid. People are now afraid to go into this, and that is what is happening, the reactions. So risk-taking should be encouraged. Don't forget, even the expansion of offshore banking that Nigerian banks setting up branches in the other countries have basically slowed down.
Well,
because the CBN is supposed to encourage them.
In closing, if you were to fix this, what would you do differently from what the CBN has done?
Well, it's going to take time to rebuild the confidence of the people. And what I will do is to have a meeting with the stakeholders in this. The stakeholders, not just the shareholders. The stakeholders include the investing public, the depositors and all that. Try and build confidence by not being the communication that goes out. Because, like I said, it's all about communication. You don't talk and whatever you do, you communicate positive things that will encourage people to put in their money and invest in the economy. So I will begin to rebuild the confidence by, not really, building up, going, in 2007 again, that the CBN Act was amended to include not just the monetary policy, but also developmental issues. And that was why they gave the 200 billion to agri, 200 billion to small businesses, and 500 billion to energy and aviation and all that, which is good. I will, make sure that the economy is built up through that development channels to build up the economy. By building up the economy, you're building up confidence. Those developmental issues. That's the path I would take.